The initial construction was paid for completely on donations. They had suggested donation of $1, and they had schools collecting pennies to send in, and they had volunteers going out to several cities to try to raise $1,000 each. And the design contest had only one stipulation, that the total design cost of a building would be under $200,000. And then the design for this building only cost $171,000, which today's money would be quite a bit. But there were actually three construction events that I'll talk about. There's the initial construction, of course, 1869 to 1874, and then the state took ownership of it and had to do some work between 1899 and 1901. Basically, they noticed that even though the structure was only a few decades old, that the foundation was cracked and the structure was starting to shift and slide down the hill that we're on. Basically, they had to rebuild the foundation, so that involved taking the entire building apart piece by piece, pouring a new foundation, and putting it all back together again. So it was a really large project. At that point, they also rebuilt the obelisk. Initially, the obelisk was only about 100 feet tall, but they rebuilt it to be 117 feet tall to match the artist's design. But at that point, they also put Lincoln's body 10 feet underground. He was above ground in a sarcophagus for many years until 1901. They had one final viewing, and then placed him basically 10 feet down on a bed of concrete, covered up with a steel cage, and then with 10 feet of concrete poured on top. You guys may wonder why they chose to do that. Basically, back in the 1870s, there was one attempt to steal Lincoln's body. Two men were counterfeiters from Chicago, had the idea to steal the body and hold it for $200,000 ransom, and also in return for releasing their friend from prison. They had an associate that was a fellow counterfeiter who made counterfeiting plates and was very important to their business. But so basically the plan was to hide the body in the Indiana sand dunes until their demands were met. But they did not realize that their helper, basically the third person on the crew, was an undercover Secret Service agent. And so he had policemen waiting in this room for them when they came down here. They were instructed to wait for a signal and go around and arrest the men. But the signal never came because the helper was busy holding a lantern for the two men. And basically, when the policemen came around, one of their pistols accidentally went off, and so the two men heard that and escaped, were able to actually get in their horse and wagon and escape all the way back up to Chicago. But the third member, who was still undercover at this point, went up and found them at their favorite tavern and had them arrested the next day. But we get a lot of questions about that. There's only the one attempt. And Robert Lincoln, who was the oldest son, was very disturbed by the fact that this happened. So when they were doing the reconstruction, he made sure that they placed Lincoln 10 feet underground and covered up with concrete, just so his remains would never ever be disturbed again. But there was another reconstruction event in 1930 to 31. They redid the interior, so all the marble that you see here today and the statues were put in at that time. And they also opened up the hallways. It used to be set up as a museum in this room, and then to see the burial chamber, you'd have to actually exit, walk all the way around to the back, and look through a small window just to see Lincoln's sarcophagus. But I'll walk around with this picture and show you what the museum setup looked like. They had, basically one of the caretakers here had hundreds of books on Lincoln and photographs and other memorabilia, and so you can come in here and learn a bit about Lincoln before taking a look at the burial chamber in the back. But the state thought that it was kind of crowded in here and might have been slightly inappropriate for a tomb, so they decided to clear all that out when they did the renovation. And then the view that you may have gotten through the back window would look something like that. They had the marble sarcophagus facing the window. But it was kind of inconvenient. You have to take turns to take a look at it, sometimes out in the rain and snow. So another goal of the design is to redesign the burial chamber so you can actually go back there and look at it. But they brought in marble from 4 European countries and 5 U.S. states. So it's from Italy, Spain, France, Belgium, and then also Utah, Missouri, Minnesota, Arkansas, and Massachusetts. A lot of this white marble we'll be walking on today is Italian marble. In the back room, there's some brown speckled marble that comes from Arkansas. It's the type that makes up the headstone. It's actually a 7-ton piece of marble to mark Lincoln's grave. And then also, if you look around the room, there's simulated columns. These are all done in the Art Deco style. But there's 16 large ones that are made from Utah marble. Can anybody tell me why they probably chose the number 16 for this room?
Oh, because he was the 16th president?
Very good, he was the 16th president. And then we've also got 36 bronze columns. These have a star at the top of each one, and then also have an upside-down flower. They use the upside-down flower to represent the death of a person. But, so there's 36, each with a star on top. Can anybody tell me why they chose the number 36? I gave you a hint, there's a star on the top of each one. What is it? Right, what do stars represent? Yeah, there were 36 states in the Union when Lincoln passed away, so they used the number of significance just to give honor to that. But also there's grates in the room on either side. They kind of look like flowers, but that's supposed to represent corn tassels, or the top of corn plants. They put that in here because Lincoln was a big supporter of agriculture, passed many laws to help support farmers and make sure that farmers' families were well educated and taken care of. And a big reason that many families, including Lincoln's family, relocated here was because of the rich soil and good farming opportunities that Central Illinois provides. So we've got 9 statues in the interior. This one is a copy of the working model of the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. Just a few details are different. The final product, the chair's bigger, his hands and feet are placed a bit differently. Lincoln actually has one of his feet propped up like he's about to step out of the chair. And then perhaps most importantly, in Washington, it's less apparent that he's actually seated on the American flag. On this side we can see stripes, and on this side we can see stars. So he's seated on it. You guys may wonder why. It's not a sign of disrespect or anything, but it's a symbol of protection. Basically, the Civil War was going on, and there were lots of upheaval and forces threatening to tear the Union apart. So it's symbolic. If anybody was going to destroy the Union, they would have to get through Abraham Lincoln first. But there's 8 other statues. Most of them are reproductions of other works in the country. But as you guys go through the hallway, there will be 2 on your left where Lincoln is on horseback. Those are actually original works that you won't find anywhere else. But there's one of Lincoln as a militia member on horseback. They call him Lincoln the Ranger. And then there's one of Lincoln as a circuit rider. Basically, when he was a lawyer, him and his associate would travel around on horseback and go to many towns along the way that needed the assistance of legal services because they didn't have their own court systems and courthouses set up yet. But also in this room, we've got the ceilings that have been redone the last few years. This is a palladium leaf in this room. So very thin sheets of metal. And palladium is a byproduct of platinum processing. They chose that because it would have high reflection and also would not tarnish very easily. But in the back room, in the burial chamber, they have a nice 24-karat gold leaf on the ceiling. And if you guys are ready, I'm going to have you go down the hallway where we're going to have a volunteer finish up the tour for you of the burial chamber. And do try to keep your voices down in the hall. It does get quite loud. Thank you for coming today. If you guys have any questions at the end, feel free to ask me up here.
Why are you guys doing that? Stop it. Stop. Stop, Preston, seriously. Thank you. Is that 9 minutes? Yes. That's how big that Lincoln's too. I know that. Gotta get pictures. So you know what I'm saying? I got video, get pictures of that, or video or whatever. I got video. I get video of everything, you know what I'm saying? And they look cool, we gotta get them, you know what I'm saying?
Keep coming in. Keep coming. Keep coming. Get everybody in here. The Little Giants. That's their nickname, huh? The Little Giants? Why not the Big Giants?
Because we're a little bit
Oh, yeah, you're right. I never thought of that. Keep coming. I like that nickname. I think it's kind of cool. Keep coming. Okay. Now, you can take all the pictures you want now, during, and after. The only request that I have, if you have any questions, wait till I'm done talking, and I'll try to answer questions. Okay? All right, here we go. We're in the burial chambers, the final resting place for Abraham Lincoln and his family. First of all, I want to point out this stone. This is a one-piece red Arkansas marble stone that weighs 7 tons. Lincoln is buried 30 inches behind the stone. He's 10 foot down in a steel cage of concrete poured on top of him. His family's right behind you, and crypt in the wall is like Mary, Addie, Willie, and Thomas. Now Robert, the only son to live to be an adult, he's buried in Arlington Cemetery at the request of his wife. Now Lincoln's ancestors came from England, and when they came over to this country, they settled in 4 states. These first 4 flags represent the states where they settled at. They are Massachusetts, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Virginia. Virginia is where both of Lincoln's parents originated from. These flags over here represent where Lincoln lived. Born in Kentucky, lived in Indiana, of course here in Illinois. This last flag is the presidential flag of the United States with the 50 stars. We can display that flag because it was given to us by a president. The ceiling is 24-karat gold leaf. Now on April the 15th, 1865, at 7:22 in the morning when Lincoln passed away, Secretary of War Edwin Stanton, now he belongs to the ages. And when they built the tomb, they thought it'd be fitting and proper to put the words here in the burial chambers. Now, Eddie died here in town at the age of 3. He died from tuberculosis. Willie died in the White House at age 11 from typhoid fever. Thomas died at the age of 18 from a lung infection. And Mary was living here in town with her sister when she passed away at 63 from a stroke. As I said before, Robert was the only son to live to be an adult. He lived to be 82 years old. When he passed away, he was living on his estate up in Vermont. He had 3 children, 1 son and 2 daughters. His son was Abraham Lincoln II, but he died at the age of 16 from blood poisoning. But the 2 daughters lived to be an adult. They both married. Between the 2 of them, they had 3 children. But they never had any children. So the last living relative of Lincoln died in 1985. His name was Robert Lincoln Beckwith. Now, the oldest part of our cemetery on here is north, which is straight on back. That's where Lincoln's law partner, Mr. Hurd, is buried along with some of his friends, including his barber. And if you so desire, you can drive back there and visit the sites. But we also have a lady back there named Nellie Jones. Now, I know you don't know who Nellie Jones is, but I bring her name up for one reason only. Her father was famous, too. Her father was the President of the United States also. Her father was Ulysses S. Grant. Grant had 1 daughter. She's buried in the old part of our cemetery, which makes it kind of unique, because Grant was the one who dedicated this tomb when it was completed in 1874. Now, Lincoln is the tallest president we've ever had so far. Anybody know how tall he was? No. 6'4". This gentleman got it right here, and he gets an A. And for the record book, James Madison was the shortest at 5'4". Lincoln's the only president to this day that holds a patent in the patent office. Lincoln is the one who started the Department of Agriculture under his administration. Lincoln is the one who made Thanksgiving a national holiday under his administration. And Lincoln is the one who started the Medal of Honor under his administration. And there's been 18 presidents that have visited this tomb throughout the years. And you could be standing where one of them has been. If you have any questions, I'll try to answer them now. If you don't, we can take all the pictures you want. And I thank you for coming. Yes, you got a question?
Here's this.
Who created the tomb?
Robert.
Who created the tomb? A guy, an architect named Markham Mead. That's who created this tomb. Yep. What they did was they had a contest. It was announced for the whole country. And anybody that wanted to could submit a plan on this tomb.
That's a good question.
And Markham Mead was the one who they decided on. He actually submitted 2.
It says Robert something. Robert Todd Lincoln. What about him?
Any other questions?
It's a 1926 birth. Oh, this it says where he's buried.
Thank you for coming.
It says that's where he's buried. It says where he is buried. It says he's buried in Arlington, Virginia. Too biggie. Will you guys stop messing with me? Yeah, he's recording. Damn. Let him record. He's got this video. rub the nose. I'll rub the nose. I never rub it. I want to rub the nose. You want me to record you rubbing the nose? I got it. I just gotta go. I'm rubbing the nose. When I rub the nose, it's good luck, right? So that means I'm gonna get to arena 10. You're gonna get to arena 8. Stop it. Just for rubbing his nose. Gotta rub his nose a lot. Really good luck. It's hot. My back hurts too. Rubby, rub. Nose. Rub the nose. I'm next to nose. Third, fourth, fifth. I'm behind Brady. No. Just take his nose. Get off, guys. Guys, line. We have a line. Caleb, we have a line. Guys, we have a line.
You have no one.
Yeah, you.
Woohoo! Nose!
I don't know. I was rubbing that golden nose. It was weird. Thank you guys. Hope you guys like, subscribe. Tell me what you guys want me to play or do something. Yeah. Okay. Bye. Better subscribe.